Hey, what's happening, everyone? Welcome to the Mission Driven Life podcast. My name's Kevin, president of Warrior Leadership. So lucky to be with you today. So lucky that I can serve you today, and so lucky that I can be here and just a mastermind with you guys. You know what I mean? Just a mastermind, sit in circles, be in your company. You know, I've been around amazing people lately. You know, amazing friends, making new friends, hanging with my close friends, hanging with people that are really skilled. And I've been learning so much about this. And you know, this is episode 36, right? So I've been going hard for 36 episodes talking about all these different things. But I'm so cool, so fortunate that I'm here to talk to you about, you know, the mission-driven life. And also, I want to talk to you about how approaching women grew my leadership and sales skills. You know, I've been approaching tons of ladies lately. I've been going to the bar. I've been going to these clubs. And I've been going out and I've been going and meeting women, and I was being straight up and intentional with it. You know, no shame there. I've been going there, connecting with women, going meeting women, shaking their hand, and being first. And this is what I learned about leadership, right? This is what I learned about being a leader, and this is what I learned about sales skills. So if you're watching the video, come join me on this video. Let me know that you're watching, because I want to talk to you about approaching and connecting with women and being first and taking initiative, right? And being that leader. All right. So hey, if you're watching, please drop a comment for me right now. Drop a comment for me. I want to know that you're here. Let me know that you're here, because I want to talk to you about women. I want to talk to you about ladies. I want to talk to you about the opposite sex, right? I want to know that you're here because maybe you're a guy, and you want to meet a woman. Maybe you're a guy that wants to connect with more women. Maybe you're a guy who wants to start increasing your sex life and your dating life. And just to be clear, look, I'm not a dating coach. So warrior leadership is not about, dating. Warrior leadership, we don't teach people how to date. We don't teach people how to meet up women. We don't teach people how to pick up women. That's just not what we do here in warrior leadership. We don't do that. But what we do is we teach confidence and we teach leadership, especially for the young leaders here. We work with a lot of young entrepreneurs and young salespeople that want to take it to the next level of leadership, right? And a big thing that has helped me was approaching women. Straight up, going to approach women, being aggressive with it, and going and getting and connecting, right? So, hey, look, if you're watching, if you like what you're hearing, if you want to learn more, hey, drop a comment. Let me know that you're here, all right? I'm about to start the podcast. So what's happening, everyone? Welcome to the Mission Driven Life podcast. This is Kevin, president of Warrior Leadership, and I am here to add value to you today. This one's kind of a controversial topic. I'm talking to you about how approaching women grew my leadership skills and my sales skills. Yes, sir. Right? So big shout out to all the ladies here who like to watch and who tune into our podcast all the time. Big shout out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, right? Because look, I love women. I'll be straight up. I love women. And we work with men and women, by the way. But this is what I learned from me going out there and talking to women, because it was really hard for me. It was really hard for me to do this. It was so scary for me. It was very frustrating for me. And it's one of the things that I'm really battling with every day, right? But I want to talk to you about how this has helped me grow my confidence as a leader, grow my confidence as someone who can go out in the world and get what I want. Now, just to let you know, we're not here to objectify women. We're not here to put people down. But I'm here because I want to start growing my skills. I want to start achieving some great things in my life, such as dating. I want to start dating people. I want to start, meeting women. I want to start having a better sex life. I want to start having great things in my life, right? And this is what I learned. If you're watching the video, please subscribe, drop a comment. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're tuning in here to the Mission Driven Life podcast, right? because I want to share with you how this thing, this action has tested me and has grew my skills. Because look, this thing it's not easy. This one thing isn't easy. Approaching women isn't easy. Whether you're approaching a man, whether you're approaching a woman, whether you're approaching a prospect, this stuff ain't easy. I'm not talking to you about sales and how to approach a customer. I'm talking to how to approach, how to approach a woman that you are attracted to. This is directed to some of the men in our audience. And maybe one day I'll do a podcast on how to approach a man, right? But I'm not a woman. But hey, tune in. Please subscribe. We're on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Radio Public, Overcast. We're on all these different channels and we're expanding our missions, right? This one's going to be a little controversial, and I know some people are going to not like this, but hey, I'm not here to make you happy. I'm actually here to add value to you today. Because look, I'm talking to the young men, to the young entrepreneur males that are in our communities. The ones that are in our communities, the ones who are looking to, conquer the world. I'm talking to the young men that are hungry for something in the world, that are striving for something in the world, that are wanting to go out there and make things happen, right? That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you guys. Because, I spent a lot of my time working. I spent a lot of my time behind a computer working on things, working on all these different things, working on my business. I spent a lot of time behind a computer, a lot. I spent a lot of the time behind a room with my team and just with my team, right? So I'm spending a lot of time behind a door or in a coffee shop, but I'm not out going to attract and approach people, because I'm just so focused on my business that I forget. And if you ask me, if you look at the 5 pillars of my life, right? If you look at, social life, dating life, if you look at, all these different parts of my life, I would say dating and social life are the aspects of my life that I'm really lacking in. The rest of my life's okay. The money is getting okay. Business is all right. It's getting better. And spending time with family, that's all right. That's amazing. My fitness is great. I go to the gym often. I went to the gym today. My health is awesome. My life is great. But the thing that's missing from my life is, being in a relationship, meeting women, and just learning about amazing women in the world, right? So I spend a lot of time working. I spend a lot of time behind things, not behind bars, but a lot of time behind computers are busy, right? I make up the excuse that, okay, I'm too busy to talk to this lady. I'm too busy to do this. I'm too busy to say hi to her. I'm too busy to approach her. But then it's time for me to confront it, right? Because one thing that we talk about in the warrior leadership training is that it's time to confront things in our life. I want to start confronting things in my life, and one of is this issue of me avoiding ladies. I can be so fearless, on a sales floor or going door-to-door sales or doing all these different things. I can be so fearless with business in negotiating a deal. I can be so fearless when I'm leading a seminar or leading a workshop or doing public speaking. I can be so fearless doing all these different things that when it gets time for me to talk to a woman one-on-one with my intention of me wanting to date her or do something with her, I get nervous. I get scared, right? Which is so crazy. I could be so great at public speaking and leading a seminar with 100 people that I get terrified of talking to a woman, talking to women, right? And it was interesting. I'm like, why? Like that's a huge fear for me, right? But this is what I learned. This is what I learned about me and my leadership, right? Because leadership's all about being first, leading by example. If I'm leading a team of people, if I'm leading a business, people in my team, right? And I'm leading a sales team, and I know that, if I have to be first, I have to take initiative when I'm leading my people. I have to be first to make the phone call. I have to be first when I'm, when I'm making the plan. I have to be first when I'm standing up to speak in front of my team. I have to be first to take initiative and to be the first one. That's the one thing about leadership. And I teach this so much in some of our confidence workshops, that we need to be first. Leaders have to be first to make the plan, be first to take action, and be first to share the vision, be first to be productive, be first on how to, on really holding people accountable. We have to be first. This ties in with approaching women, because I need to be first when I'm creating an interaction. So I'm talking to women, and let's say I'm out at the coffee shop, right? So I'm out at a coffee shop, I'm out hanging out, and I'm out, I'm out talking to people, talking to ladies, and I have to be first when I'm talking to them. I have to be first when I stand up and go walk across the place and I see a cute lady from across the coffee shop or the bar or whatever. I have to be first to get up, get off my butt, and to go and get her interested in me. I have to be first to get her to be interested in me, right? Give me one sec, sorry. All right, okay, I have to redo this a little bit, but welcome to the Mission Driven Life podcast. This is Kevin with Warrior Leadership. I apologize. I was recording this podcast and I realized it wasn't even recording, so I feel kind of dumb. But I'm talking to you today about approaching women and how it grew my leadership skills. I talked to you already about, so people on the live video, they've already kind of got an introduction that, I spend a lot of time working. I spend a lot of time behind a computer working on things, working on my business that I'm so nervous, and I don't talk to the women around me that are interested in me, that are showing interest in me. I'm not going out and taking action. I'm just avoiding them. So I hide behind a computer or I hide behind a book, and I don't go out and talk to ladies. I don't go out and I talk to women. I don't go out because, I just hide behind work. I hide behind work, and I don't really stand up and go and talk to them. So I talked about, I can be so fearless on a sales floor. I can be so fearless in life, when facing danger and being willing to fight, that I'm so scared to go and talk to women. I'm so scared. I was telling about that earlier. And I knew I had to be first, right? Being first. For example, today I went to the mall and I bought a new shirt. So I needed a new white shirt. I had a nice suit, but the shirt was ripped. So I had to get a new shirt today. And I was at the mall, and I went inside Zara, and I was just, oh man, there's so many amazing women out here, right? There were so many amazing women, and I noticed some fear coming up in my belly. Fear coming up in my balls, fear coming up inside my body. I was just aware of that. So I learned that, okay, I was scared. I was scared in that moment. I knew I had to talk to ladies, and I had my Bluetooth in. I was talking to my friend, one of my teammates in he's in the States. He lives in the States, and we were talking on the phone, and we were talking about, dating, social life. And I learned, I didn't want to get off the phone. I didn't want to get off the phone with him. I wanted to stay on the phone, and because I knew if I turned off my phone, I would have to go approach and talk to women, because I knew that that's one of my missions, right? It was nervous for me. I was scared, but I knew that I had to be first. So I went up and I seen this lady, and she was fixing the coat rack. She was fixing the coat rack, and she was fixing something on the wall, right? She was working there, and I approached her. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be first. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I started being first by introducing myself. I'm like, hey, Mike, what's up? You look like someone I want to meet. My name is Kevin. Right? So I introduced myself. I was first. I wasn't waiting for her to say hi to me. I wasn't waiting for her to talk to me or notice me. I had to be first. The biggest problem Grant Cardone always says is that the biggest problem is that people won't buy from me. It's that people don't know me. I had to break out of obscurity. So for me to break out of obscurity, for her to know about me, I had to go out and be first and take action, right? This ties in with us when we're leading or managing our teams, that we have to be first when making a plan, being first when we're leading a team, being first when we're out here, you know, I had to be first when I'm out, inspiring someone on my team. When I'm coaching someone, I had to be first and initiate the conversation. I can't just wait for someone to come and initiate it for me. It's my job as the leader to initiate the conversation. That ties in with dating and social life. I have to be first when talking to someone. And I can't wait for them to come talk to me. I have to go and be first. The next thing is I have to seek my own approval. One thing that I notice is that, big leaders or leaders are faced with is that some leaders are pleasers. We want to please people. We want people to like us. We want people to be fans of us. I learned from approaching women this week that I need to seek my own approval. It's not my job to get someone to like me. It's not my job to get this girl to like me. It's not my job to get her to love me, as much as I want the love and attention from them. It's not their job to give it to me, right? It's my job to give it to myself, I'm not here to please people in life. I'm not here to please you. I'm not here to make you happy, but I'm here to add value to you, right? So one thing I learned is I need to seek my own approval, because someone here who's going to come into the podcast is not going to like what I'm talking about. Someone's going to come here onto this podcast, saying that, oh, I shouldn't be approaching women. That's very, bad, sexist. But look, I'm not here to seek approval, right? I'm not here to make you like me. I'm actually here because if I seek my own approval, if I'm like, okay, look, whatever happens, I don't care if the girl doesn't like me. I don't care if the girl doesn't like me. I don't care if that person likes me. Or I don't care if that person responds well to my conversation. I have to seek my own approval. That ties in with leadership. When we're making a decision with our team, sometimes the decision that doesn't go okay. Some people, if you ever worked for a manager and maybe you got pissed off at your manager one day, it was like, oh, this guy made a fucking bad decision, right? That's a part of you that, the leader, his job is not here to please you, right? The leader's job, he's not here to please you and make you happy. He's here to make the team and the organization's vision work. So I had to seek my own approval. And I did this by, being to the point, being direct, and just speaking up. Too many times, even for myself, and I see other people, some of my friends, that we try to please the woman, that we try to please someone that we're dating or please someone that we're courting. And I had to seek my own approval, man. Fuck. Sorry, one sec. Going back here, so I'm talking about, sorry, someone was calling me just now and it screwed me up for a sec. And, I was learning that, look, I have to seek my own approval. It's not my job to make people like me. It's not my job to get the girl to love me and fall in love with me. It's my job for me to like me. And if I can have my own self-esteem and my own self-confidence and my own belief in myself, it doesn't matter what other people say, right? This can tie into so many other things in our life. And it's not just dating. It can be tied in with business. It can be tied in with public speaking. It can be tied in with anything. We have to seek our own approval. And we can do this wherever. When you're approaching women by, talking about what things that you want to talk about, or disagreeing with people, or maybe just being assertive and asking for what I want, instead of trying to make the woman please the woman, right? The last thing is bringing people together. Bringing people together. I'm learning from my good friend King. His name is King. He's a very social guy. He is always about seeking, he's always about bringing people together, building a social circle. That's what I learned about from being around King all the time, right? He's always ready to be around people. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I need to grab my charger, so give me 1 second if you're watching, all right? So yeah, tuning in, like if you're watching, I'm talking about how coaching women to improve my sales, my sales. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get in the charger. All right. So I learned from my good friend King was that King is someone that I really look up to. King is one of my friends. He's actually really well experienced in running social circles and being a social guy and bringing people together. That I learned about from him is that he's a leader too. King's a leader. He's one of our coaches in one of our trainings. And his skill is to bring people together. So every weekend, I'm starting to improve my social life, right? I'm starting to grow my own social skills. I'm starting to do my own thing. And what I'm starting doing is that, look, King is a great leader. He starts bringing people together. So every Saturday or every weekend, we all get together and we do something, right? I don't drink. I don't drink that much. I'm not interested in drinking. I like positive health. But one thing I like about King is that he brings people together, right? He brings ladies, guys, girls together. It doesn't matter if they're ugly. It doesn't matter as long as you're bringing people together, right? That's a huge leadership trait. If a leader can bring others together and unite them under one group, under one discussion, or under one place, that's leadership right there. And that takes a whole new skill, such as running an event and running a party. That's something I used to talk about and I used to do a lot before. Another thing about leadership is being present. When I'm talking to a woman, I need to be fully present, right? I can't be distracted and looking all over the place. I know when someone is distracted with me and on their phone while I'm talking to them, I get pissed off, right? I get angry. I'm like, hey, look, I need your attention if we're gonna talk, right? One thing I need to do is like being fully present. That's something I'm challenged with all the time. But hey, being fully there and being fully present is just being fully engaged, focused in the conversation. That's what I know, what I learned. Another thing was not neediness. Look, leadership and dating, this is where it ties in, right? Because neediness, as much as we want to lead people, we can't need people. If we're needing our people, if we're too needy with people on our teams and we're afraid that they're going to lose, or they're going to be afraid that they're going to run away, or maybe we're afraid that they're going to do all this stuff. If we're needy, we can't lead people. John Maxwell says this all the time, like if you lead people, if I need people, I can't lead people. So I can't need them. This is so interesting with women is that like I really failed at this one in my last relationship. When I was dating a beautiful girl, her name is Michelle, she was great, right? But I started becoming needy in the relationship. When she was checking out other guys or when she was doing all these other things, I was so needy. I was needy that I wanted her attention all the time. I wanted her love. But I realized something that really needed to change was my non-neediness, like my neediness. If I just let go of being needy and stop wanting to always, need her or maybe need a woman, I don't need anyone. I don't really need a lady to be great. I don't need a woman to be amazing in my life. I don't need someone to be loved. That's the same thing that I need to bring in my life, right? As I broke up with Michelle, like we don't talk too much anymore, is that, back when I broke up with her, I was needing her. I needed her. I felt so terrible if I wasn't with her, right? I was so in love with her. I needed to be with her. But I realize as I'm single now, I'm single and I'm okay. I'm living my own life that, look, I don't need her. I didn't need her, right? I wanted her, but I didn't need her. That's the same kind of attitude that we need to bring in some of our dating, right? You know, that's what I learned about leadership is like, I can't be needy with a woman. I can't be needy and like needing her, like, oh, please need me. That's not what I need to do, right? That's one thing. And like, I want to talk to you about sales. Some things that I learned in sales about, you know, approaching women, and what it taught me about sales is just qualifying. So in the sales process, for some of our young entrepreneurs and young salespeople that are watching the video and listening to the podcast right now, is sales. Sales is an interesting thing because part of the sales process, you know, the one that Grant Cardone teaches with information assisted selling, and the sales process, it would be the greeting and the qualify, and then the presentation, propose, negotiate, and close, right? That's the sales process, right? That can be the same with dating women, approaching. I know that, look, if I'm going to be meeting women at a bar, you know, if I'm going to be meeting girls at a restaurant or a coffee shop, I have to figure out if there's someone that I want to get in touch with, right? Because maybe I could be talking to a very beautiful woman, and maybe I want to date her. Maybe I'm interested in her. If I'm getting into a conversation and I figure out that she's married or has a boyfriend, I don't want to talk to her, or I don't want to pursue the conversation. You know, because I like to do this. I'm like, hey, look, you have a boyfriend or what? I like to be straight up. I like to just be straight up and be like, okay, look, are you dating someone? Are you a boyfriend? Are you married? Or are you, how old are you? I want to ask questions because I want to make sure this person is suitable for my life. You know, I need to make sure there's even a fit. And if there's not a fit, it's all good. No worries. I'll just let her go. Like even today, I met some cute girl at the mall, and I approached her and I was scared a little bit. And I'm like, hey, look, how old are you? And she's like, oh, I'm 17. I'm like, oh, all right. You know, I'm not interested in talking to a underage lady. You know, that's not who I want to be. But I had to qualify and be like, okay, is she something I'm interested in? Yes, no. All right. No. Let's go. Peace. The last thing is follow up, right? Follow up, when I meet a girl, I need to go follow up. And I haven't been getting any numbers or anything lately, but I just got to follow up, right? And just, hey, what's up? How you been? Great to meet you. But the interesting thing out of all this that has really helped me was not being attached to the outcome, not being attached for me to be liked, not being attached for me to leave home with a number, not being attached for me to dance with the girl, not being attached for me to getting the girl to like me. It's when I started letting go of the outcome and not being attached to what I want, and just being free and just being me and just being fun, it's all good, right? It's all good. I don't have to be attached to anything. And you're probably wondering how I can not be attached. Maybe you can start doing this by not caring, right? Well, like let's say you want to talk to a girl, but then you're scared of what other people are thinking. Because I know when I'm in a coffee shop and I'm talking to a cute girl, I'm sometimes conscious of what other people are thinking around me. Oh, what is this guy doing? Is he a creep? Is he doing this? Everyone's story is just popping in my mind, right? But I realize I'm just being attached to the outcome, right? I'm being focused way too much on the outcome. So what I could do in that situation is just do it anyways. If people judge, let them judge. I'm not going to attach myself to not being judged. I'm not going to attach myself to being loved by everyone. I'm not going to attach myself by being accepted by everyone. I'm just going to be me. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't work out, even better, right? So this is what I'm talking about. Look, this all applies to leadership in sales, right? This all applies to leadership in sales. This is like relationships. This is what I learned about approaching and meeting women. I'm going to keep approaching women this week and learning about women this week, because I'm going to go take some more action. But I want to thank everyone that's tuning into the video today and tuning in and getting some value, because I trust that you gained something from this. I trust that you gained some knowledge. Maybe you got pissed off in this podcast listening to me talk about this. I don't care. I know this is what I learned about leadership. This is what I know that you could gain from your own leadership, and you could apply all of these from being first, seeking your own approval, leading the conversation, bringing people together, which is a leadership trait, being present in a conversation, being non-needy, like not needy with your team and not needy with women, and then qualifying and follow up, right? And above all, this all applies to everything, and it's not being focused on the outcome, not being focused on everything and what it's about. It's just, just letting it happen. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, all good. So this is Kevin with Warrior Leadership. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you being here today. Hey, drop a comment if you're watching. Let me know what you thought, if you liked it, if you didn't like it. Thanks for being here. This is Kevin with Warrior Leadership. Listen, check out our podcast, The Mission Driven Life. We're talking about missions and leadership, right? That's what we're talking about in our podcast. So tune in. We're on Spotify, Breaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Spotify, Overcast, and you'll find some of our replays on YouTube. So have a powerful day, everyone. Thanks for checking me out. Rock on. Let's go.